Hey everybody, this is Games Plus James, and today we're asking, what is Dungeon Souls? So what is a new series I'm starting here on the channel, taking a look at games that are either just released or in early access or coming out soon, and taking a look about what the games are all about and seeing what's going on here and trying to show whether they're worth spending your time on. So today we're taking a look at Dungeon Souls. It's kind of a 2D top-down, randomly generated dungeon crawler type thing. So we're going to take a look at the game now in action, but before we start the game itself, I just want to take a second to point out a couple of things. Now this game is in early access, so obviously it's not finished or anything. It's on Steam. You can buy it now, so you can spend your money on it, but it's not quite 100% there yet. So if you look up at the top of the screen where it says controller connected, that's interesting because there's no controller support for this game. It doesn't work. The controller does absolutely nothing. I think you can move up and down with the controller on this menu, but that's about all you can do. You can't go into any of the options, you can't activate anything, so it's kind of a bit pointless. And moving up and down here, we use like the keyboard to move up and down or whatever, but can't use the mouse. So if we're going to start the game, now we're on this screen and suddenly we've got a mouse we can control and move around with. It would be handy if we had the mouse all the time, and now you can hear me click on the keyboard there. The keyboards don't do anything on this menu at all. So it's kind of a bit of a strange little jump that they have there, but obviously, like I said, it's early access, so I assume these things are going to change. So you've got a choice of a few characters. There's a barbarian, there's an archer, a thief, there's some dude all the way over here, Nightblade. So we'll start with the barbarian. We can choose our difficulty down here. We'll stick with normal for now, but I'm pretty bad at the game, or else the game is very hard. More than likely I'm very bad, but we can wander around and see how we get on. So yeah, it's, as you can see, it's a top-down kind of thing. Yeah, you can use your mouse to move around like this. It would actually be really good if you could play with a controller. I feel like it would play very well, but unfortunately we're stuck with mouse and keyboard for now. So you move around and you swing your axe. If you hold the button down, he swings at that speed. He only has like one speed that you swing at. You can upgrade your stats and stuff as you go through the dungeons or whatever, but you start off just being able to swing kind of like that. And even if you click more and more, you don't swing any faster or anything. So basically the idea is, if you see this little thing on the ground here, not the green guy, but this little symbol on the ground, you have to find all of them within a dungeon, and that will enable you to leave the dungeon basically. There's usually like 4 or 5. If you find like, there's a marker in the ground somewhere that will tell you how many of them you need to find. Okay, well, we're finding a few of them already. But before we go any further, so you've got like different skills that you can unlock as you go through the game. Just stand here somewhere safe for a moment, and you can upgrade your skills and whatnot as you level up. So if we click on this one here, Shout of Rage, one of the confusing things about the game, it doesn't do a very good job of explaining to you, is if you mouse over these things, it says Shout of Rage Tier 1 Q. So Q, obviously I would expect that Q is the button I press to do my Shout of Rage. I press Q and nothing happens. So that's kind of a bit strange. And eventually you work out that right click activates your little power. And what the Q is for is if you unlock this power as well, you can use Q and E to switch between the two powers and activate them. Which is a very weird and kind of awkward system that doesn't really doesn't make a lot of sense. It kind of makes you feel a bit awkward as you're going around doing this. So there we go, I leveled up, I got some stat points, so let's use that. Put my speed up a bit, so now my axe swings are slightly faster. Not too much faster yet. Oh god, there's lots of dudes. So every time you walk onto one of those little emblems for the first time, it spawns a whole bunch of enemies for you to defeat. And basically, like any dungeon crawler, you're going through the game, you're kind of defeating as many enemies as possible. This guy is fairly hard. Let's use my speedy attack. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now look, we've got an extra power. And so you switch between them with Q and E, and then you launch your attack or whatever. There's a bit of a cooldown between attacks. But it's a little bit awkward. Like, I don't, because I would understand that if there was like a row of like 5 powers to switch between or something, and you're switching between them to activate whichever one you want to use, that would make sense. But it seems like it would be a little more sensible to just have two power. Oh god, that guy came from nowhere. To just have Q and E directly do the powers, but there you go. That's their choice, I suppose. So this is the thing. This is 3 of 5 marked activated. This is basically the end of level portal. Once you step on the 5 marks, we'll activate a way to get out of here. One of the other little awkward things about it is I like the perspective and I like the art style of the game. It's really cool. I really do like it. But one of the strange things about it is when you walk down a corridor like this, you kind of get blocked behind the wall, so you can kind of barely see some of the stuff in motion. And a little bit earlier we saw a trap. We'll see some more traps as we go in here. And traps are kind of like, it's very hard to know where you can walk to avoid a trap because it's hard to see. Let's use a potion here. There is interesting mechanics involved. So like there are a potion. If you press F, you get your potion back. And I like the little bit of cooldown you have between each thing. Oh, we got some more level up points. Oh god, there's a bad guy. And the upgrade menu. I like the way it doesn't stay, or it doesn't stop the game. You have no chance to rest. You gotta fight your way to freedom and I don't know, to defeat all the enemies. We'll see if we can find our way to the boss, which is like the 3rd dungeon basically. So here, these little spike traps. You can see one line of them there, but there's more here that you can't actually see. So it's a bit weird. And this guy isn't the fastest either. So if sometimes there might be like 2 traps beside each other. Oh god, I wasn't expecting these guys to be all here. I thought I'd already activated that one. So again, it's hard to tell when they're activated and deactivated sometimes when you walk in. So it's a bit strange in that way. But like I said, it is pretty fun to play. It's interesting. I can definitely see how, as more time is spent on it. So, oh look, the Redeemer has arrived. That means basically you've activated all the portals. You should get moving and get out of here. Oh, he's stealing my... I don't know what he steals. Yeah, your health. Okay, yeah. Let's get out of here. On to level 2. Oh, we got some more stats I didn't. So, have some defense and some damage, I suppose. Okay, we got 5 marks here again. Oh, God. Oh, one of actually the interesting things with this guy, he can destroy the projectiles that are fired at him. Which is interesting, that's helpful. See how far we get with this guy and we'll show off some powers of the other guys. Let's see if we can use our... Oh, no, that didn't work out so well. Whoa, okay. Getting a little bit overwhelmed here. So there is times when like there will be a lot of enemies around you. If I can make it to the first boss here, you'll see it gets pretty hectic indeed once things start going. See, look at all these guys. If I just get my super speed powered up, there we go. Now I can just go around killing everybody. La 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 la. Well, that worked out for me. Let's see if we can swing a little bit faster. Not too much faster. Okay, let's have a look up here. So, I do like the randomly generated dungeons. It's kind of got a fun little style to it. And again, it does that thing of every time you play the game, it's completely new or whatever. But unlike games like Rogue Legacy or anything like that, you don't keep any progress between runs. So every time you start the game again, you're completely starting from scratch. Kind of like Binding of Isaac, I suppose, in that way, which is, it's interesting, but it's not. I don't know. I really enjoyed Rogue Legacy. I really enjoyed that game quite a bit, and I like that way of like feeling a little bit of progress over time, even if it's just very gradual progress like it is in Rogue Legacy. It still feels good to be able to see that you're getting somewhere. And as you can kind of see as well, it's a little bit like, it's a bit mindless. You're just kind of wandering around, especially with this guy. It's a bit more active when you're playing as the thief or the archer, because you have to actually aim at your targets and stuff like that. But this guy is kind of, you just get in the rough general direction of where the bad guys are, and you can kind of bluff your way through it all. Okay, I feel like I've activated all the portals now. And I don't remember where the entrance was. Was it over here? Yep, well the minion thing is coming now. Where was... or the Redeemer's coming, whatever his name is. Was it up here? There we go. Let's kill all these dudes. Get out of here. Okay, so I'm gonna head through the portal now. This is the first boss of the game. The Skeleton King! Oh my god, he kind of came rushing at me there. So he's grand. It's okay, you don't need to worry about him too much. And then he does things like that. Oh god, okay, I'm already dying quite badly. Okay. But he's going to... He eventually starts spawning some more enemies for me to fight, which kind of... That's when things start getting a little bit too crazy. Whoa, okay, okay. Don't be firing your things at me. Ah! Okay, we can do it. We can do it. No, we can't do it. Oh, what's that? Mushrooms? Okay, now here comes the bad guys. I need to chop through all these and hopefully... No, there we go, I'm dead. It was only a matter of time before I died. So let's take a look at another character. While we're here, we'll pop it down to easy just to see if we can get a bit... Oh no, actually we'll go for Nightmare. I haven't tried Nightmare, let's see how crazy it gets. So this is the Archer. Let's try him out. See, as I said, it's a bit more interesting. You have to actually aim at your targets and stuff like that. But this guy isn't so bad. But with the Thief in particular, oh my god, one hit kill. So I guess Nightmare is pretty hard. Let's go back to normal difficulty. I'll go to the Thief. One of the problems with this guy is just as I'm aiming here like this, you can see he's throwing all over the place. And I understand the reasoning behind putting something like that in the game. Obviously you want to show like you can get more accurate as you level things up. See, there's an accuracy rating here. I think once we level up once, we can essentially make him pretty much 100% accurate. But it's a weird way to start out with because it's kind of awkward and strange. So let's see if we can kill some guys here. Actually, don't know what his extra powers are. So as you can see, the Thief, he's a bit more weak than the Barbarian, so it adds a bit more strategy to stuff because you have to move around and kind of try and dodge attacks and stuff like that, and you have to actually take aim at the enemies. Let's give Thief Bomb invisibility. Let's go for the Thief Bomb. How does this work? Whoa, that did a fair bit of damage, or did a fair bit of explosions anyway. See, I was doing okay firing that guy, but look, I'm pretty much pointing directly at this guy most of the time, but I was missing half the shots. You know what I mean? It's kind of... Okay, we leveled up, that's good. So now, if I'm right, there we go, we got some accuracy. Now he's a bit more accurate. Oh, I'm so nearly dead. It's an awful lot harder with this Thief than it is with the Barbarian. Like, I'm already nearly dead. Oh, careful. I haven't activated this yet, have I? I have. See, sometimes it's best to just like run through and hope for the best. Okay, we need 4. Oh, dead again. Let's have another go with the Archer. No, not random. The Archer. Maybe we can actually survive a bit longer than 2 seconds this time, since we're not going to play on Nightmare mode. What other power does he have? Pentuple Arrow. Ooh. So he's got a bit more health, he's a bit more accurate, but he's not quite as fast as the Thief was. Oh, how long do I keep this power for? Oh, I've got a little yellow bar on the side that shows how much time I get to keep my super arrow firing. And so by the time the cooldown is gone, because that's a long lasting attack, by the time the cooldown is like already going down, you've only got about 5 seconds to wait from the end of that to when it starts up again. So it's interesting. Now that I unlocked that power, I haven't actually tried out this guy's powers yet. It actually makes him a little bit easier to play as. He hasn't quite got the speed of the Thief, but he's got a little bit more of a balance of being able to survive a bit more. And oh, I say that, but then I immediately die. Well, there you go. that's Dungeon Souls. You unlock more things as you go through the game is the idea. Although I had a problem that when you beat that boss, if you go back to the character selection here, it says Unknown Hero, defeat the Skeleton King. I have defeated the Skeleton King, but this character has never unlocked for me. I've defeated the Skeleton King a few times, and the character has never unlocked for me, so I don't really know what I'm supposed to do there. The game isn't the best at explaining how to do stuff. I will say that. It could do a better job of explaining how things work and what you should do. I know there's something to be said for like trying to work everything out yourself or whatever, but I don't need my hand held, but I would like some kind of rough guidance, like the first time you play maybe or something. But yeah, okay. So that's Dungeon Souls. It's worth taking a look if you're interested in these kind of games. It definitely is. It feels good to play. It would be a little bit better, I think, if I had controller support and a little bit more interesting. But it's worth a go, I would say. So yeah, Dungeon Souls, take a look, and I will be back soon with some more gaming goodness. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for checking out this episode, and if you want even more Games Plus James goodness, make sure you hit those subscribe and like buttons. You can also find me on Twitter and Facebook by following the links on screen, where you can find out all the latest news about the channel. And if you want to help support the show, check out the Patreon page, where you can get exclusive content in return for helping make the channel even better. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.